And so next up, I am going to be giving you guys one of my honorable mentions, which is a movie that probably a lot of people might be like, how come you didn't have it in your top 10? This movie was great. It was awesome and all that stuff. I had it in the honorable mention because it was a lot of movies that I kind of liked and enjoyed more than this film. But this film was really good though. And it is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is the latest film from Quentin Tarantino. And it stars Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's about Leonardo DiCaprio. He plays a character, an actor named Rick Dalton, along with his sidekick, or, a stunt double, played by Brad Pitt, named Cliff Booth. And it just shows they're kind of like their stint in Hollywood, as Rick Dalton is trying to prove to the world that he still has it and that he hasn't lost it. And the movie just kind of follows them and their friendship and everything else. With in the background, it has the whole Manson murders and all that stuff. But I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But I just want to start off with saying this is a great film. If you love Quentin Tarantino movies, you're probably more than likely going to love this. As far as the acting, Brad Pitt steals the show. And it's crazy because he plays the supporting character role, but he is the standout. Like, you'll come out of this movie like, I enjoy Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is my character in this movie. He's my favorite character in this movie. And I'm not by myself. I've heard other reviewers and other people say the same thing. Like, Brad Pitt just fucking kills it up in this movie. But that's not taking away anything from Leo, because he was great in this movie as well. He was the main character, and just Leo DiCaprio, he's an awesome actor. Awesome actor, just incredible. And he does an amazing job. But just with the way that this script was written and just everything that was given to Brad Pitt, it just kind of like he had the advantage. And he came out the most likable character and the most memorable character out of this whole film. The chemistry between both him and Leo is definitely one of the best parts of the film. And how they brought their friendship to life on the screen was just awesome. And you're literally attached to their friendship. Like, you can believe that they're actually friends. And the humor works great, and it was well balanced within its tone. But the one big thing that I could say that I didn't like about this film was the subplot with Margot Robbie. Honestly, could have been taken out. And I get Tarantino, what he was trying to do, but I felt that the subplot could have either been taken out or replaced completely with a fictional story rather than true events, because her part really didn't play a major role within the film, nor did the tragedy. And it really wasn't necessary to have up in the film. I mean, it didn't further the story, and it just really wasn't focused on. It really just played the backdrop to Brad and Leo's character story. And I think that they could have kept it like that or just replaced it altogether. But despite that, Margot Robbie does do an amazing job in her role, but I just didn't like the fact that her character and the situation it was connected to wasn't warranted for this movie. And the ending was just completely nuts, bonkers, and just crazy good. The third act was handled great because the last scene was just pure entertainment at its best. And no one is going to walk away from this movie with that not running through their minds afterwards. And it does involve Brad Pitt's character, and it is just simply great entertainment by itself, but it adds on to the likability of Brad Pitt's character. I love the feel and the tone of this movie and the way that it was shot, and thought that Tarantino did an amazing job with crafting this movie because it was well directed. And I'm not a huge fan of Tarantino, and that's not saying that I hate some of his films, but I'm just not well versed in a lot of his films. But the ones that I have seen I really do like, and this one is no exception. I feel that if you really like Tarantino films and his directing style, you will really love this film, or at the very least like it. This movie is a hit for me. Despite the unnecessary subplot, I really did come out of this film enjoying what I saw, and I would highly recommend this movie to be checked out by any and everyone, especially if you're a big fan of Quentin Tarantino and for some reason you haven't seen this film.